Welcome to Retired Road Tripping. For those of you guys that are new here, I'm Kevin.
And I'm Larika.
We've been full-time RVing for exactly 3 years now.
3 years.
Yes, just last week we hit our 3-year anniversary of full-time RV life, and we had put out on our social media, any questions or anything that you guys wanted to know, and we got a bunch of questions from y'all, so we are going to go ahead and cover those in today's video.
Yeah, so it should be a fun one. We're going to try and switch it up. It's been very warm here in Kentucky, very humid, but we're going to try and switch it up, different locations, just kind of get out of the rig, be in the rig, do a little here and there, but we're going to start today with our first question.
Yeah, and our first question is, how do we go about booking our campgrounds? Do we call the office or do we use the online booking system?
And this question is all you, babe, because you do all of our booking, which I think surprises some people, because I think a lot of times because the man drives, the woman books. I don't know. I think whatever roles you do better, just stick with those. So anyway.
Yeah. So for us, it all depends on the campground and what they have available. And by that, I mean some campgrounds, some RV resorts have a really detailed online booking system, and some of them don't, and you have to call. And then because if you've been watching us for any length of time, you know that we like to stay, 2 weeks minimum, usually a month or more. Sometimes anything over 28 days, you have to call the office because of special monthly rates. So if that's one of the requirements, then we'll call the RV park and book it that way. But I have booked monthly sites online. So
I think sometimes it's easier to talk to somebody.
Yes.
When you plan those monthlies, because there's a little bit more that it entails for them.
Yeah.
But yeah, like you said, we've done both. So.
And one thing I've learned doing this for the last 3 years, a month isn't always a month, depending on your RV park. We've stayed at RV parks where a month is only considered 4 weeks, 28 days. Others are, say, the first of the month to the first of the month. So first thing you have to do is ask the RV park, what do you consider a month?
Yeah.
Because the problem is we booked one once for a month, a full month from like the 3rd to the 3rd or something, but the monthly rate was only for 4 weeks, 28 days, and then we wound up paying the nightly rate for like the extra 3 days, which was much more expensive. We've learned over the years, don't do that anymore. We ask ahead of time, and then we just kind of book whatever their monthly stay is.
That's where talking to somebody is nice, because you can get questions answered.
Right.
I like to have Kevin sometimes when he's talking to, say, especially if they have laundry, say, do you, how much is the laundry? Because have you ever noticed on their websites, and I don't know if they do this on purpose, I always like to know how much it is and if it's quarters only or an app. And so I don't know why they don't list these things, but I think they want you to call. That's my whole thing on it, so they can talk to you.
Yeah.
But so we ask that sometimes too. But we do a little of both. I would say probably more the
online, except the monthly stays.
Yeah.
Like so far for the loop we're on right now, everything has been online because we haven't done a monthly stay yet.
Yeah.
But I will say when we get to Utah, we're staying there for more than a month. Their place is a requirement. Anything over 28 days, you have to call and talk to them, which is nice because that's when you do get the nice monthly discount.
Yep. So there you go. Found a couple ants, but I don't see any ant trails.
And I did spray.
I feel like they're coming in more from the back, because that's where I've seen the ants.
Yeah, I sprayed all around everything, so I don't know. All right, we're back.
We're on kind of a funny side of, we're on the off side of the RV. We were checking out a couple things. I've seen a few ants, so we just wanted to make sure we didn't have ants going everywhere.
Yeah.
We thought we would tackle question number 2.
While we're at it.
Yes, and I am waiting on my laundry, which I set my timer for.
Yep.
So, number 2.
Number 2 is the basic, where do you register your vehicle? So, domicile. Where is our legal domicile? Where do we get our mail? Go to our doctor's appointments, vehicles, things like that. Back in Arizona.
We did not change.
No, we did not.
No. And it is kind of nuts because most people don't know this, but Arizona is extremely expensive on vehicle registration.
Right.
So a lot of people are like, why? I guess maybe they do know it, but they're like, why did you stay there? It could be so much cheaper. It's just easier for us.
We didn't want to change everything and all of our legal addresses and driver's licenses and dealing with insurance and my retirement and everything. And I don't know. I'm just a lot more comfortable that our legal residence is our son and daughter-in-law's house. It kind of made it easy because he has always lived in our home, and his legal address and our legal address has always been the same. When we went full-time 3 years ago, we actually moved out of the house, and he kept the house, so we never had to change any addresses. And then since he's moved and got married and bought his own house, whenever he does a change of address, he changes the whole last name, and our change of address automatically goes along with him. So we've never had to deal with anything like that.
Yeah. It just makes it easier because he is our male.
Yes.
He's our mail person.
Yeah.
So,
and it makes catching up once a week on FaceTime really easy. He'll FaceTime us once a week, and they'll be like, mail call, and he'll go through our mail with us, and then we get to catch up. So we have those weekly phone calls with him and Kenzie, so that makes it really nice.
It's also where we go when we go back home. We
Yes.
are going to stay with them. They have a spare room for us. We no longer have to Airbnb while we're in
Right.
Arizona. I'm
Yeah.
so happy about that. It's going to save us money.
That's mid-year when we go back to visit.
Yes.
We still have an RV park in the winter when we go
Yes.
back for the whole winter.
So,
But
yeah.
when we go back and visit for a couple weeks mid-year, we get to stay with them now.
Right. And we go back for Violet's birthday.
Yes.
Let's be honest.
Yeah.
But anyway, we stay with them, and it just makes it easier. It's easier listing it all for doctors, all of that. That leads us into the next question. Doctors, all of that. We schedule those while we are in town.
Yeah.
So generally we are in town from November to almost April.
Yeah.
Sometimes we leave a little earlier depending on what's going on. And then, so we'll have a doctor's appointment there possibly. And then June.
Yeah.
Because we're back for Violet's birthday, we
Right.
do doctor, dentist, all of that stuff. Any appointments that we need to get done,
Yeah.
we just take care of in Arizona, and go from there.
Yeah, and it kind of lucks out that Violet's birthday is in June, so we're literally back every 6 months.
It's pretty much
for
the
at
half,
least
yeah.
a couple weeks.
Yeah.
So that kind of works out for us.
Yeah.
Which now kind of rolls into, do you miss having a home base? I do not miss having an actual sticks and bricks home. Arizona is still, we still consider it our home base. The home RV park we stay at for 5 months in November, we kind of call that our home base, even though it's not a legal address. But
Yeah.
we're there every year, and with both of our kids and being not too far from there, Arizona is our home base. And like we said, we've got our son's house when we go back to visit, so it's not like we have nowhere to stay. I don't miss having my own house, though. I really don't.
No, we talk about this a lot. We like the simplicity of living small, being a little bit more minimal.
Yeah.
We're probably not as minimal as van lifers and smaller rigs, but for us, very minimal, and it's very freeing, and we love that. We love that we can just pick up and go and do our thing and plan out and do all this stuff.
Right.
As far as missing a home base, we really don't.
No.
I think at the beginning it was a little bit harder because you knew that just because we were on the road didn't mean that families stopped, holidays, birthdays, that kind of
Right.
stuff. And so that is stuff that we would always try and make.
Yeah.
So at the beginning, we would know that that was going on, but now we're just kind of used to it. Like
Yeah.
we've just gotten into our flow, and being out here and making us intentional is the most rewarding thing. So no, we don't miss a home base.
Not at all.
at this point. So.
This is our home base. All right, we're inside. It's June 1st in Kentucky, and the humidity outside is
killing me.
getting thick.
We've run out of places to kind of take them to
Yeah.
record because we're choosing to record in the afternoon, and it is warm right now. It's
Yes.
just stagnant.
Yeah,
would be a
it's-
great word.
It's pretty
But
thick outside.
no big deal. We're
No.
just going to come to you from the kitchen now.
Yes. All right. Next question is, the longer you're on the road full-time traveling, do family and friends seem to grow more accepting, or does it seem like they have the mindset of, are you guys about done with this?
What do you think?
I think that by now we're starting our 4th year, and this is just our way of life. And I do think our family now pretty much has figured out that this is our life, and this is our lifestyle, and this is the way we're going to live. I've never heard any of them ask us, are you guys about done with this? Like Larica said earlier, at the beginning with holidays and stuff, my 2 brother-in-laws back home, they used to text me on all the holidays, hey, it's weird you're not here and this and that. And now they go through the Easter and the Memorial Day and the 4th of July and Labor Day barbecues and get-togethers, and we don't really hear from them about that anymore. So I think they're pretty much, the families accepted it. Our kids, I think it's pretty much a way of life now with our kids and our granddaughter, and our weekly FaceTimes with each of them. So I think they pretty much accepted it.
Yeah, I think it's an acceptance. I think it's also just probably, this is going to sound so bad, but out of sight, out of mind.
It could be,
So I don't know if they think we're still crazy. I think that, and you guys know, if you RV
Right.
full time, a lot of people just think you're nuts for giving up your home and that whole situation. To me, I just feel like you said, it's kind of just a way of life,
Yeah.
and that's what they know now.
Yeah.
But it's not like we get a lot of questions like, how long do you want to do it? Or that looked, you know what I mean? Like, it's just kind of is what it is. They know that we're usually back. Our longest stint is for over the holidays, and that's probably when we see them the most, because honestly, we don't, other than our kids and that, we don't see the rest of the family as much, because when we go back, it's very busy and just location. So,
And they'll have their lives too.
Yeah.
Their lives
Yeah.
aren't going to stop for us.
Right. But then we have those exceptions where, because we've traveled, we get to see more family.
Right.
So,
Yes.
it's just one of those things. I think they have accepted it. I don't know if they still think we're crazy. We don't really care. We just are going to do us. So, pretty much, I think the shock is over.
Honestly, I think at this point, if we were to ever say, hey, we're done, that might shock them a little bit, because they know how much we do love this life. So that might be the shock someday, but I don't know.
Yeah. So there you go.
All right.
That's that one.
Moving right along, hanging out on the couch, watching some college softball tournament. And our next question kind of piggybacks the last question. Have we ever shared our plans for when we are done, or are we just going to wing it as an exit from our full-time RV life?
So, truth to the question is, we do not have an exit plan. We have nothing mapped out. Have we talked about an exit plan? Absolutely.
A little bit, yeah.
So,
it seems like that's the rave right now. Everybody starts talking about, when you're done, and buying land and buying houses and buying property and everything else. And we haven't gotten that far with it yet.
well, there's a lot of people that also think you should have an exit plan no matter what. I totally get that because of health, emergencies, stuff that comes up. Totally get that. We do not. As much as we are planners, we do not have an exit plan yet.
No.
And I don't know if that's just because we have just finished 3 years and it's still going strong. But we have definitely talked about it. We don't have anything set in stone.
Right.
So we've talked about, we don't really see ourselves going back to a sticks and bricks at this point.
No, we've talked about what will the future look like. More than likely, it will still be living in the RV, just maybe 6 months in Arizona, and maybe just moving one time a year and just doing like a 6 month there, 6 months somewhere where it's cooler. Because if you're not from Arizona, you're not from the area where we're at, you cannot live in an RV all summer without being super uncomfortable at best.
We don't want to be uncomfortable.
No, so you definitely want to be somewhere in those summer months, those mid to late April all the way until November.
But here's the thing. It could be as simple for us as finding a space up in Prescott or up in Flag in Arizona.
Right.
So we're close enough that we can come back, especially as the grandkids get older. We don't know, how many grandkids we're going to have, and we want to be present. We also want to be intentional about our time and make sure that we kind of have those aligned. So we talk about it, but I feel like what we do, we will probably remain living small.
Yes,
so we've actually
absolutely.
talked about if we kind of got to the point where either age or health or something happens and we can't physically do this, then maybe we get property somewhere and have a small, tiny home. I don't know. I think it'd be cool to get land and live on that. We know that ultimately as we age, we're going to slow down. We won't continue at the pace we are. And then we're going to just kind of focus in on those areas that we love, like Kevin said. And so we'll slow down. But as far as leaving the RV and that, not at this point.
No.
Not saying never, because we don't know. We're only 3 years into it.
Yeah.
We're just telling you where we're at right now. We have no intentions of being done.
Nope, not yet. So
yeah.
you're stuck with us for a while.
Hey, we got a neighbor. They're going to watch it pull it. We got a neighbor.
And we're getting another neighbor coming in. Can you see that?
Okay, so I think we've got 2 questions left. We're just going to do them right here for you. So let's go with it, right? Let's see. What's your favorite? I can't even talk. All right. What's your favorite, craziest, fun moment yet that made you say, yes, that's why we do this? And so for me, I can go first for you.
Yeah.
This was a hard question. I actually thought about this one the most because I feel like people are wanting one huge moment. What I'm going to say for myself is, I think it's those moments that make me emotional. So, for instance, the Hiawatha. It's not crazy by any step of the means, but I will tell you this. When I heard that it was a 1.6 mile tunnel, I wasn't sure what I thought about that. Like, you go into these adventures and you have an idea of what you think they are, but you don't know until you experience them. And so sometimes it's not even sometimes, always when we push ourselves outside of our comfort zone, it ends up being rewarding. So for me, it's those heartfelt ones. It's a culmination of things. I feel like Hiawatha made me so emotional because I can't believe that, like, I just can't believe that we get to do this. Like, I feel so blessed that it makes me emotional. I also feel the same way when you see the beauty in this world. So we talk often about the Oregon coast, just the magnificent beauty that the Oregon coast is and what it has to offer. It'll take your breath away every single time. It could be as simple as the country roads in Door County that we rode around and tried different desserts and cherry this and cherry that, apple this. Just spending time in these communities, these areas that are just such a gift because we didn't even know they existed.
Right.
So I don't have that huge,
that aha moment.
Yes, because I feel like it's a combination of a bunch of different things that we've gotten to experience. Riding on the beach like it was a highway in Port Aransas. I'm just going to name you off things that stick out in my head that make me go, this is why I love this life. Right? Like that's that for me, it's never going to be one big thing. It's seeing family that you haven't seen. I got to see my 80-year-old uncle, I get to see my brother in Utah. I get to see his kids.
We saw our nephew in North Carolina we hadn't seen in 15 years.
In 15 years. I just get to do those intentional things that are not always, well, most of the time you don't do when you live in a sticks and bricks. So it's also for me realizing that Kevin and I chose each other. It was an intentional decision to, raise our kids, do all of the sports, do the things, the school, all that, and then meet back again after we've done all that, and we get to do this journey of our life. I don't mean to get super deep, but that's exactly what it is. It's just, it's going to a rally. I mean, the deployment rally was amazing. We got to be with our friends and we got to meet new people. And so it's those connections that you get along the way. It's the people that come up and say, hey, we watch you. It's the people that comment. And I'm not just saying this for the channel. People that comment and tell us, we love watching what you guys do. It means so much to us. That just makes my heart happy because it's not always easy to be a YouTube influencer. And there's days that you can beat yourself up or you could just be like, I just don't know why we're doing this. We know why we're doing it. And so when you stick to why you do it, and then you get those little nuggets of encouragement along the way, that's enough. It's enough to say I'm enough. So anyway, long story short, as Larica does, it's those moments. It's those moments that take my breath away that I've named a few, and I can name a ton more. What about you? You're going to say the same thing, aren't you?
No. I mean, I will echo Larica's sentiments that it's all those small things, and it's hard to pick the one. But if I had to pick one thing, I'm going to try to pick one thing.
Ooh, you're going to do it the right way, not me.
I'm going to try.
Not me.
Our first loop out, our first time ever on the Oregon coast, Larica and I walked down to Cannon Beach and we saw Haystack Rock and, the whole Goonies thing and everything else. Walking back to the campground, when we ran into like 13 elk in the middle of the street, just walking around, and they were 30, 40 yards from us. We kept our distance, but you go to Yellowstone, you go to Tetons, you go to some of these national parks, and you see the elk out in the field and everything else, and they're cool. They're awesome. They really are. But to see them walking down the middle of a street right in front of you, we're standing on the sidewalk, and they were just literally across a street and just doing their thing. That was like, wow. How many people could actually say they've seen that, they've experienced that up close? That was one of those, yeah, I love this life. For me, it really did. And then from that point on, just like Lorica was saying, everything else that we've been doing for the past 3 years has just been incredible. But those elk in the middle of that street, walking back from Cannon Beach, after seeing Haystack Rock, something you've seen since you were a little kid, watching the Goonies a bazillion times, and then you get to see it and experience it in person, and a couple hundred yards away, there's a herd of elk. It was just incredible. It was just, for me, that was kind of one of those moments.
Just kind of fueled our fire. Like everything just kept getting better. And we're city people, so elk make us very happy. But also, it's the truth. I mean, there's so many things that I could name that I've had a moment about. And I think that that's the other thing is, too, when you go into this life, you do have to settle in and you have to live. But you can be so excited for those big things because you get to do them. And most people don't. And so I think it's super important to keep kind of the eye on the prize. Yeah. And just, I don't know, we just are so fortunate and so blessed to be able to live this life. And that's my answer.
A close second for me would be Port Aransas, because we got to ride our bikes on the beach every day and just experience being a beach bum for a couple weeks.
I feel like there's so many, like, even just recently when we did the Redwoods and Yosemite, I mean, you were so impressed. There's just so many magnificent things out there that take your, like, oh my gosh, Black Canyon of the Gunnison National Park. How far down it drops. I didn't know that I would feel that way. Horseshoe Bend and Page, Arizona, in our backyard. It is just that beautiful and stunning. And so you just sit there and you go, wow. Yeah. And that's the gift. Is finding the treasure in the life that you're leading. Yeah. And it doesn't have to be spectacular. You don't have to do a million things either. Right. You just need to know what your blessings are. And so for me, when we got out there, we quickly were like, oh, this is for us. Yes, like 100%. We thrived on it, and we loved that we got to spend time together doing it. I get to do it with my best friend. And I say it all the time, and I don't want to. I need to have a different word, but it really is a gift. Yeah. So, and there's a lot of people it does not work out for. Right. So we just, that's where we're at with that one.
All right. And then our last question. So this is kind of a personal question. This comes from our dear friends, Casey and Becky. They are the managers of the Clintswell Campground in Happy Jack, Arizona, just outside of Flagstaff. And their question for us is, when are you coming back to stay with us again?
And if you remember, Casey and Becky, we stayed with them for a month at the campground.
1 week into full-time RV life.
Yes. So
actually, 3 years ago today, June 1st, is when we checked in.
Oh, you're right. We were
and
there.
I wound up in the hospital with a shard of wood in my hand.
Yeah.
If you haven't seen that video, we'll link it up here, because that was an experience for week 1 of full-time RV life.
And if you have been watching us for that long, woo!
Thank you.
That is amazing. But yeah, we love Clintswell, and so we're just going to throw this in here and answer it for them.
Yeah, it's we would love to. The thing about that park is it's only open from about mid-May until October 1st.
Yeah.
And that's the time when we are as far from Arizona as we can get because of weather. So we're probably leaning towards either, as we're slowing down, trying to spend more time there, or if 1 year it comes up and we need to stay a lot closer because of future grandkids or anything like that. It's about 2.5 hours from our quote-unquote home base that we were talking about earlier. So it's close enough that we could be there in the summer,
Yeah.
and come back down for family events and issues and everything else. So,
And it's cool enough to do in the summer.
Yes. Oh,
so
yeah, you can
they
spend
actually
all
don't
summer
open
there.
until May because of the snow.
Yes.
So there are parts of Arizona that get very cold.
yeah. So we're looking at probably, we're going to kind of keep that one on the back burner for when we have those family things that are going to be coming up in a summer. And we'll just kind of use that as our launching point down the road. But don't worry, Becky and Casey.
So yes,
We will be back
come
eventually.
back. I don't know when.
One
So
of
we
our
can't
favorite
wait, though.
places,
We do
yes.
really love it. So I would love to do that. So, and maybe we could even take Miss Violet with us, or
We'll see.
for a little bit, for
We'll
a
see.
weekend or something. I don't know, but we'll be back.
Yes, absolutely. We are in London, Kentucky for the London Rally with the 4 channels, our Everyday Getaway, Why Wait, Untethered, and our next adventure. And that starts in a couple days, and we are so looking forward to that.
Anyway, we just want to thank you guys for following our journey, especially if you have been along with us from day one. We cannot believe it's been 3 years, but at the same time,
I can't believe it's been 3 years.
can't believe it's been 3 years.
Yeah.
So, but we appreciate you. We thank you. We thank you for comments, for just your encouragement. It means the world to us.
All right, so do us a favor. If you like this video, hit that subscribe button, ring that bell down below. And every interaction you guys have with us, it helps us so much with our little channel growing. We totally appreciate everything you guys do. Like Larica said, the comments, the likes, walking around an RV park and you stop and say hi. It really means the world to us.
Yeah.
All right, so we will see you guys next week.
On the next one.
All right, bye-bye.